Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel today where we will be discussing the Straw Hat Pirates bounties after Wano. Let's get into it, shall we? I wanted to make this video just for a little bit of fun today. I mean, since we're nearing the supposed end of the series, 5 years left, I'm pretty sure some of these bounties after Wano, and considering the characters we have in Wano such as Big Mom and Kaido, the bounties may rise to a ridiculous occasion. So let's speculate about it, and we'll be starting off with the Monster Trio. So the first straw hat of the Monster Trio we're going to be getting into today is Sanji's bounty. Now, Sanji's bounty currently stands at 330 million berry. Now, when it comes to Sanji's bounty, it's very hard to scale of how high it could get, because I think most of us are assuming that he's going to be fighting Queen, but it's kind of hard to discuss who he's going to be fighting considering we've got the Big Mum pirates now involved. So I'm just going to go on the basis that the main antagonist story, people of the arc are going to be, Orochi and Kaido. So when it comes to his bounty, we know Queen's current bounty is at 1,320,000,000. Now, I would love for Sanji's bounty to rise to that level or higher, but from a just from a funny perspective, I think his bounty will just be shy of 1 billion berries. And the reason why I'd think this is be funny is because at the moment Sanji is really happy that his bounty seems to be higher than Zoro's, albeit just by 10 million. But I think it'll be really funny later on in the story for his bounty to be shy of 1 billion, for Zoro's to surpass that, but we'll be on to that next. So with that in mind, I think Sanji's bounty will be 993 million berries. Now, when it comes to Zoro, it's very hard to scale what his future bounty could be, being that the fact that Wano arc is meant to be, essentially Zoro's arc, just like Whole Cake Island was Sanji's arc. Now, being the fact that we don't know King's bounty, we can't really say what his bounty could be. But we do know that normally his bounty normally ones up Luffy's by a little bit throughout the history of the story. So I could easily see his bounty rising by Luffy's current bounty, 1.5 billion berries, making his total bounty 1,820,000,000 berries in total. Now, when it comes to Luffy, it's kind of extremely hard to scale, because we know he's probably going to land, the final blow on Kaido, but does that mean that his bounty is going to rise further than his? And plus, we've also got Big Mum involved within this arc, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. So I find this one really hard to do. I would like to think that it would jump a incredible amount, just due to the fact that he's already got the Zoe poneglyph, he's got Big Mum's road poneglyph, and he's, presumably going to get Kaido's poneglyph. So he's going to have 3 of the road poneglyphs that lead to Laugh Tale. So would that make the government view him as a big threat because he already has 3 and would be the only pirate other than Roger to have all 3, apart from the 4th one? So I could see his bounty being judged at the 5 billion mark, or even higher. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as his bounty is going to rise up to 5 billion berries minimum. So with the Monster Trio out of the way, I guess we'll go on to the Weakling Trio, so to speak. Even though I don't think they're weak anymore, but it's still going to be hard to judge. So the first one I'd like to discuss is Nami. Now, her bounty currently stands at 66 million berries, and it's kind of tough to judge who she will fight in the arc, just because we don't know the full extent of Kaido's forces. Now, she was a big help against Cracker, and she's had some upgrades since in terms of her climate act as well as Zeus. So for now, I'm quite happy with increasing her bounty to Usopp's current bounty, which is 200 million berries. Now we move on to Usopp. Now it's been a while since we've seen Usopp properly in the story, and we haven't really seen him fight much. But we now know that he now has observation haki. Now, we don't know to the extent if if he's fully aware of it, if he's training with it. We'll have to wait to see to the main battle to find out. But I personally think we will. Now, when it comes to Usopp, he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. We don't really know who he's going to fight again, but just because we don't know the full extent of Kaido's forces. But I can see his bounty raising up quite a bit to quite a substantial standing of such a characters such as Law and where Luffy was previously at. So I would mark his bounty to be 500 million berries. Now when it comes to Chopper, I really want him to get the recognition that he deserves as part of a member of the Straw Hats, but it just seems like it's just a gag in a way. It started off with 50 berry and then 100 berry as the Straw Hat's pet, but we still don't know the full extent of his fighting abilities really, because throughout the story I assume everyone's gotten stronger, but the question remains, is it going to remain a gag? Or is it going to be taken seriously? Now, I can't see it being too funny if it is just going to remain a gag and it's just going to raise by 50 berry again. So I'd love to see that his bounty finally gets recognition, and I'd put it at the 100 million berry mark. I think it would be great if his bounty just rises from 100 to 100 million berries. It would be pretty awesome to see. Now, when it comes to Brook's bounty, it's very hard to scale. In my opinion, Brook's value among the crew has risen. Just his determination against Big Mom, the fact that he got the road poneglyph, he smashed Mother Caramel's picture. MVP book for whole cake. But, again, we just don't know who's going to fight. When you don't know who's going to fight, it's kind of hard to judge it, right? So I think his bounty will raise by 200 million, making it a total of 283 million berries. So let's discuss Franky's bounty. Now we know Franky was really annoyed when his Usopp's bounty was announced and it was way higher than his. So his bounty currently stands at 94 million. So I'd like to think that his bounty could raise up to 200 million berries. Again, we just don't know who's going to fight. But I feel like we should add a bit more value to his bounty, just due to the fact that he has the Pacifista laser. We don't know if he has any other weapons up his sleeve that he could be saving for a tough battle. So I would put his bounty at the end of Wano at 300 million berries. Now we move on to Nico's Robin's bounty. Now this is one I'm very excited to talk about, because even though we don't know, who she's going to fight up against, etc., whatever, some people believe it could be Orochi, being that, she's trying to get close to him, etc. But for me, we're at the end game of the series now, right? According to Oda. She's one of the only people in the world that we know of that can read the poneglyphs. Now, the fact that at the end of Wano we should have 3 road poneglyphs in our hand leading to Laugh Tale, I can see her bounty being considerably higher just because of this aspect. Now, I don't think it's no stretch of the imagination to believe that her bounty could be well over 1 billion. But we're just going to leave it at 1 billion berry bounty at this point in time, just due to the fact that, like I said, she's the only people that can read these poneglyphs. At the end of Wano, they should have 3 road poneglyphs. Very close to Laugh Tale now, and it's just going to be a big threat to the government. when they should find out about the Void Century and things of that nature, and they would put a high price on her head to make sure that she's not able to read these poneglyphs. Now, I bet you thought I'd be done there, being the fact that I've, covered all the Straw Hats. But, sod it, I'm going to include Jinbe into this as well. I really hope he's alive and he'll show up. So, his current bounty stands at 438 million berries. Now, I don't think it'll be higher than Sanji's, which I currently rate at 993 million berries, which I think his bounty will be at the end of Wano. So, with that in mind, I believe his bounty will increase to 838 million berries. Now, the reason why I'm just jumping them so high, above, well, not above Nico Robin, but above Franky, Brook, and Nami and Usopp, is just due to the fact that I think he's going to be like the 4th strongest fighter within the crew. He's quite a veteran. He has haki. He's been on the seas for a while. He's a warlord, ex-warlord. He was under the Big Mum Pirates. He's now with Luffy's crew. He's a great helmsman. So I think that's what his bounty will be. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Today was just about a little bit of fun, a bit of speculation, what the bounties could be after Wano. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Feel free to comment what you think the Straw Hats bounties could be. It'll be good to hear your opinion. And feel free to subscribe for more content. Now, there's no chapter out this week, which is quite annoying because I was quite enjoyed doing the reviews. So I'm going to think up of another video to do. And that should be done by the weekend, maybe. We'll see.